Participants in a race were divided into three teams with three runners in each team. So there are nine participants. A team was awarded 6 minus n points if one of the runners finished in nth place, where n is from 1 to 5. So we have five positions. So the person who gets the position first, so if first position person gets the points 6 minus n, which means 6 minus 1, gets 5 points. If somebody gets the second position, the number of points obtained by that person will be 6 minus 2, that is 4. For n equal to 3, that means the third position guy gets 3 points similarly, and fourth position guy gets 6 minus 4, that is 2 points, and the fifth position guy gets 6 minus 5, that is 1 point. So the total number of points that have to be distributed among the team should be equal to the sum of these five values, that means 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, that comes out to be 15. So the 15 points have to be distributed among three teams. That's the bottom line. If all the runners finish the race and if there were no ties, so there are no ties, there are five distinct positions, the points are being obtained only for these five positions, and these are the points obtained for the respective positions. So the total number of points will be 15, which have to be distributed among three teams. The question is, was each team rewarded at least 1 point? The answer needs to be given in the form of either yes or no, right? So this 15 points can be distributed in many ways. For example, maybe one team gets 5 points and 4 points, other team gets 3 points and 2 points, and the third team gets 1 point. That's one possibility. That's also a possibility that one team gets 5 plus 4 plus 3, the second team gets 2 and 1, and the third team gets no points. So we have to just find out whether every team is getting at least 1 point or not. And to answer that question, we look at the statements. The first statement says that no team was awarded more than a total of 6 points. No team got more than 6 points. That means the person who is getting 5 points does not have another person in the same team who gets 4 points or 3 points or 2 points, because then in that case 5 plus 2 will be 7. So the team's total count will be more than 6. So that's not happening. So the person who gets the first position does not have any person in the same team who gets second, third or fourth position. That's all right. That's good to understand the statement and the meaning of the statement. But now let's quickly try to answer the question. The question says that no team gets more than 6 points. So we have team 1, team 2, team 3, and no team is getting more than 6 points. So maybe one of the team is getting 6 points. The maximum points 5 plus 1. That's one possibility. The second team is getting again 6 points, which is 4 plus 2. Then even in that case, we are left with 3 points which some team has to get. That means the third team is bound to get a minimum 3 points. Anyway, if 15 is distributed among 3 parts in which none of the parts is greater than 6, so even if we take 2 parts to be 6, the third part has to be minimum 3. So every team is getting a minimum 3 points that we are ensuring with this statement. That means we are answering the question as definitely yes, because every team is getting at least 1 point. In fact, we are saying that every team is getting at least 3 points according to this information. So the first statement is definitely sufficient to answer the question. Now let's look at the second statement, which says no pair of teammates finished in the consecutive places among the top 5 places. That means the person who comes first does not have another teammate, the same teammate who comes to position number 2. So now let's quickly make several cases and see what are the possibilities that we can see. Maybe one team gives us 5 points and 3 points. These are not consecutive. And 5 points, 3 points and 1 point. None of them are consecutive. That means the total point count of this team becomes 9. And the second team gets 4 points and 2 points. No two of them are consecutive. So 6 points. And the third team gets 0 point. That's possibility number 1. That means this answers the question as no. Not every team is not getting at least 1 point. And we could also take case number 2, in which the first team is getting 5 points and 3 points. The second team is getting 4 points and 2 points. And the third team is getting 1 point. giving the answer to the question as yes, because in case 2, every team is getting at least 1 point. So now we have inconsistent answers. There are multiple scenarios in which one scenario says that every team gets at least 1 point, and the other scenario gets that every team is not getting at least 1 point. So we say that this statement does not give us the unique conclusion. So we say this statement is not sufficient to answer the question, and answer of the question becomes option A, which means the first statement alone is sufficient to answer the question, but the second statement alone is not sufficient to answer the question. Thank you so much for watching this video.